Hey, the world according to Steph, chapter 11, Light, Truth, chapter 19. I hope that's what it is. I have been trying to do these on a place that doesn't have much memory, so if I have trouble, hopefully I can get around that. I love all of you. You're wonderful. Okay? I want to talk about love a little bit. I want to talk about family. I want to talk about some of the things that I've been putting online. I had 3 children, and I've talked about this a lot. But I'm going to tell you something. It is so important. It is unbelievable. You know, it's wonderful to be sitting here in my little space, my meditation area, my special place. It's gorgeous here. I mean, it really is. If I opened up one of the windows, the shades, you would see just absolute beauty. Everything's just blooming. And, you know, if my back wasn't broken, and I'm still walking, caning it, but walking. And I try to get some good pictures even, you know, without the cane showing. But the point is that it's beautiful here. Just gorgeous. You know, when you're in a place that's beautiful and gorgeous, how do you feel inside? Usually you feel like you're beautiful and gorgeous, like, you know, there's no tomorrow. You want to be here forever. Well, that's really good, okay? Now, we have to figure out how to do that all the time. Huh? Why can't we feel gorgeous and beautiful all the time? Yeah, we have pains and aches. Believe me, I know all about them. In fact, forgot to put this on. I have a thumb that is, you can't tell, but the bone moved over halfway on the thumb. I have seizures every night. Every single night. And sometimes they're so bad that I'm, you know, I wake up and I have the leftovers of tears. You know how, I'm sure some of you know how that feels. You know that you've been crying in your sleep for some reason. Well, in my case, it's pain. Physical pain. And I have a great belief in my Creator. I have a tremendous belief in that. And I think that's why I can still do so much. I believe that. Now, I follow someone on Twitter, or on Tweet, I mean, Twitter, and they wrote a book, but the book is about the same thing that I believe in. It's the same thing that I talk to you about. Yeah, it's the same stuff, but I follow it because it's wonderful for all of us to be together. Energy. The more of us who are in positive frame of mind, the more energy, positive energy, that we are going to push out into the world. And that is extremely important. Extremely. You know, children are a great source of that energy, unless they're being punished. But when they're happy and they're running around and they're just happy as can be, there's nothing but beautiful energy being pushed out into the universe by those little children. And you know, we've had many prophets and the sons of God, the Son of God here. Some people believe. I'm not going to say nay or yay on that. I won't do that because I don't want restriction on who watches this. None. And I believe that all the holy books are all related and came from God. That's what I believe. And it kind of irritates me when I hear someone say, well, isn't that Islam? So what? So what? Have you ever read it? Because I have. And, you know, until you've read something, until you've acquainted yourself with it, I think you need to hold back on your judgment. I really do. The thing of it is, isn't it possible that what we, if you're a Christian, what the Christians have been taught is a mixture of all of the holy books in the New Testament? Is it possible? Just throwing it out there. I am not of any religion, and I will never be. I am of God. Period. Period. Okay, now, the last time we talked about beauty and love and light, or did we hit on the love and light part? But we're going to today. First of all, beauty is in the mind's eye. How you see yourself is how others see you. If you look at yourself in the mirror and you think that you are ugly, it will come out that way. I'm sorry, but it will. They will not say that you're ugly, but they will feel something negative from you. Now, I want you to think about that. But it's true. I know, I used to feel like I was the ugliest creature walking the earth. Believe me, I did. And I was a very beautiful young woman. And it's unbelievable that I could ever have felt that way about myself, but I did. I did. Until I got lots of help. And most of it was spiritual. The spiritual part helped me the most. Absolutely the most. We have to go deep within ourselves to find out what's happening here when we have issues in life. We have to go way down deep. And then we have to learn how to forgive. Because when we learn about all that stuff that we're carrying inside, and usually the core issues are guilt and shame, we're going to be mad. We're going to find somebody or something to blame. We're going to be so mad it is not funny. Now the question is, how are you going to handle it? Are you going to continue your work with your spiritual advisor? And I sure hope you are. Because you have a lot of work to do after you discover what is causing you to feel ugly and unhappy and sad. And just because you find out, you may have found out, just because, doesn't mean you're done. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a lot more work to do. I know. Been there, done it. You know, the ones that have been there, done it, really do know. And hopefully, they're the ones that you're going to. The ones that been there, done it. In every aspect of your life. Maybe they've been there, done it even worse. Now, I believe one of mine was a whole lot worse than I was. Okay, so what if we go to the mirror and we say, I am loved. I am loved and I am beautiful. And we smile because we're going to feel loved. I'm loved. I am loved. Today I am loved and I am beautiful. So if we feel that way, we're going to probably look that way and appear that way, and we're going to feel that way. But it takes some work. It takes a lot of work. We have to keep doing that. For weeks and weeks, we have to keep doing that. Just think about all the time it took to make you think that you were ugly or whatever. You know, my mother used to say, beauty is from within. Now, I know she truly believed that. I really do. That's one thing I know about my mother. She believed it. She had a wonderful teacher, her grandmother and her grandfather. Her grandfather was an Indian, and her grandmother was a beautiful, beautiful, lovely woman. Just lovely. And she died very early in life. But in that time before she died, she passed on very wonderful things to her grandchildren. And my mother was one of those grandchildren. You know, it's amazing. We have so many people who should be at the podium talking, telling their story, telling you about it, about that ride, that good old roller coaster ride that we all went through, and how to get off, how to step out of that roller coaster, how to look in the mirror and say, I am a beautiful person, and I am full of light. Beautiful, bright light. I'm a diamond. I'm a diamond. When you can say that to yourself and believe it, you got it made. You got it made. You know, I'm on Google Plus, and I can tell you right now that a lot of people will not put their real pictures on. I have no idea why. What are we afraid of? What are we afraid of? Do you think someone is not going to like you? Or are you trying to put something that represents something that means something to you? I don't know. Personally, I put how I feel on there. I haven't changed my picture in a while because there's no need to. I feel like I pretty much look the same as I did, you know, when I did that other picture. So, what's the point? What's the point? Might as well leave it like that. But anyway, the point right now with you and me and us is that we have got to start feeling good about ourselves. Now, when we start feeling good about ourselves, we pass that on to our children and to our grandchildren and to our great-grandchildren. Because if your child got married young, and one of mine did, I could easily have a great-grandchild in the next few years. I could have them right now, but God forbid that happen. But I don't think it will, but I could. I very well could. Yep, I could be a great-granny right now. But anyway, so how do I want to be to my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren and my children? Do I want to be happy? Do I want to be bright like the sun? Do I want stars coming out of me? You bet I do. You better believe I do. That's why I do a lot of those sexy kind of pictures. Why not? I feel good about myself. Why shouldn't I? I'm happy. Okay? If you're happy, what are you sitting back for? Occasionally let loose. Let loose. Occasionally. Okay, now, the light. Do you believe there's light within you? That you are light in reality? That this is just a husk surrounding you? That once we pass away, it immediately starts to deteriorate. You realize that? I mean, immediately. The minute the blood stops flowing, that's it, baby. And it's a husk. It's a husk. So, what are we really? What are we? Well, I can't answer that question for you, but I can answer it for me. I believe that I am light. I believe that. I believe I am a beautiful, light creature, or whatever. But I'm full of light. That's what I'm full of. And when the day comes, when my passing, when it's time, my light will go and join with the other light, the rest of the light. my son's light, my grandmother's light, probably my mother's light, probably my father's light. Of course, who knows? I am not all that well. I don't know if you all realize that, but although I feel great, I mean, as good as a person can feel with a broken lower back and a brain aneurysm result, leftovers of that, and I have a neck that's fused from here to here, so my wheelchair has a back that goes all the way up, and I have to have that because when I do these videos, afterwards I can barely swallow. It's really difficult. So it's all part of the when they did the last spinal operation on my neck, and they did the very last one, the one on the very bottom, my T1, and the very last one on top, not the very top one, thank goodness. We're not going to let them do that one. But the C2, the problem was, well, I had a stroke when they did it, and then the other problem was they made my throat real teeny tiny weeny. I can't get big amounts of food down my throat. I can't swallow giant pills. I have a lot of issues with those. So I find other ways to do it. Where there's a will, there's a way. That's what my mother used to say. I think my dad used to say that too. Okay, now. So I'm light. That's what I am today. I am light. And I know it. And light is beautiful, isn't it? It's just beautiful. So we can't be ugly, because light is beautiful. All right, now I'll tell you what I'm going to do. 22 minutes. Well, first, before I do that, remember I said something about forgiveness? And then there's something else that I want to talk about, too. When you find out these things about yourself, sometimes you have to do what we call a surrender. Now, what that means is that you must surrender to whatever you believe in. Everybody believes in something. I know you atheists are out there saying, no, I don't believe in anything. Well, then do it to the universe. But you need to do it. And generally, you do it after you do something called an inventory. That's how we find out about all those things that we are carrying around inside of us. All those horrible, nasty, black, ugly things that need to go away. They need to go away. All right. The first thing is we need to meditate. I know a lot of you meditate. I know you do. And I'm not going to say this meditation is better than this meditation. I'm not going to do that. I have a way that I meditate. I go into the light. That's how I meditate. Now, I teach the people I kind of work with, I don't want to say work with really, but help. I help them go into the light. I teach them how to do that. It is a wonderful experience and they love it. They love it. And it stays with them the whole day, you know? If they do it in the morning, they are cool the whole day. It's wonderful. So the first part of surrendering is we meditate. Okay? The second part is we pray. Oh, shucks. You don't pray? Well, you need to learn how. And I'm not going to tell you how to do that. I'm going to suggest that you try it. What's it going to do? Kill you? I doubt it. But, you should say a prayer. Make one up. Okay. Now the third thing is to work with another person who is having problems. Be there to help support them. Be loving. Be giving. Do whatever you got to do to be supportive. Help them. Help someone else. Get out of yourself and help someone else. And then the last thing is to do a gratitude list. Yep, I used to hate that. A gratitude list, oh my God. And generally, we list 5 things. One of them could simply be, hey, I'm breathing. Yeah, be grateful. Some people have to wear oxygen. Some people cannot breathe very well. Both my parents are that way. Yeah. It's what happens when you get really old, But in my mother's case, it's because she has a really bad heart. Really bad. Okay, I'm trying to find, hope I can do it in time. I don't want to take up too much time here. Trying to find my list for forgiveness. And hold on a second. I got something else though. I've done this before. I'm going to do it again. Because you never know, I might have different people watching. Now, I don't know where some of these came from. Okay? But some I do. This is a good one. I know that there are people out there in Google Plus that think that they have demons that they deal with. They probably do. But the demons are there within themselves. They really are. Okay. So, August Wilson said, you get to the point where your demons, which are terrifying, get smaller and smaller, and you get bigger and bigger. Yeah, that's a goodie. Okay. This one's a good one. Now, don't know where it came from. but I'm going to read it to you. I must let God, that's what I call my Creator, God, help release me from my guilty secrets and learn to forgive myself for those things that are past. I put myself into God's hands. Now I'm going to be honest with you. I do this almost every day. I really do. It's not the demons or secrets, guilty secrets. I really don't have those anymore. But I do forgive myself because, other people throw stuff at me. They try to throw rocks at me. And I do this and this to try not to get hit, but they do that. And I'm 60 years old, and I don't think I should be having rocks thrown at me, but they do. They do. So there's a couple things I have to do with that. One, I have to learn to forgive myself for those things that are past, but also I have to learn to forgive them for throwing rocks at me. And I put all of it, I put them and myself into my God, my Creator's hands. Okay? Now, let's see what this one is. I think this is a pretty good one. Would like to accept myself and know that God loves me for who I am. If God can accept and love me, then I should be able to also love me. That is so important. It's unbelievably important. I need to learn to accept God's will, and I cannot control the actions or destiny of another. That kind of takes us back to what I was just saying, okay? People throw rocks at me. It's like, oh my God, I'm getting rocks thrown at me. But, I cannot control their actions and the way they think or anything else about them. I have no control over that. Even if it's my own children. If they are adults, they have to learn what's good and what's not good. I do not feel guilty if they're like this. I did not teach my children to be this way. That I will tell you. I did not teach them that. And my son who died was a beautiful example of that. He had nothing but love in his heart. Love. I know he had demons. I know that. But he had something more than the demons. He had love for everybody. He was the most gentle human being I've ever known. And he was my son. So obviously I didn't do too bad a job. Okay? This one's a good one. You see it online all the time. Okay? Let one therefore keep the mind pure. For what a man thinks, that he becomes. The option heads. the Upanishads heads. I can't say it. I'm sorry. Okay, now this is a good one. We need to learn to live, to focus on something good or useful to our lives, and let the rest of the world go about its business. That's from How Can I Help My Children? I bought that book because I loved my children so much, and when they became adults, I didn't know how to help them. I needed help to help them. So I bought a book. How about that, buying those books, huh? This one was a good one. And this one I think I wrote. I got a little asterisk by it, so I think it was my creation. I must treat myself as I would a gentle creature of God, with tenderness, patience, compassion, wonder, and love. Yes, I do. Now, the forgiveness one we aren't going to do today, okay? But the next time we're together, we'll do it. I'm watching the clock here. Let me get this started, because I do want to read the, oops, I've got it on a different one that you don't know about. It's really cool, though, I'll tell you that. Alright, now, the one we got done with was about the meekness, okay? We just got done with that. The next one that we're on, we're doing the Beatitudes, for those of you who haven't been doing this with us. I read a little bit from Emmett Fox. He was an amazing man. I consider him a 20th century prophet. Absolutely amazing. Now, Jesus Christ, the Christ, okay, his last name is not Christ. He told us how to live. And the Beatitudes are what he gave us. Real simple stuff. But if we break it down, there's a lot to it. So the one that we're on right now is, blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. Now, Emmett says, righteousness is another of the great key words of the Bible. One of those keys that the reader must have in his possession if he is to get at the true meaning of the book. Like earth and meek and comfort. In the last videos, we talked about the meanings of those. Okay? You need to watch them, because I'm not going to re-explain everything. I'm just not. Okay, but they are special words. The meaning is not what you think it is if you haven't seen them. Earth and meek and comfort. It is a technical term used in a special and definite sense. Okay? Righteousness means in the Bible not merely right conduct, but right thinking. Okay? On all subjects. All subjects. In every department of life. As we study the Sermon on the Mount, we shall find every clause in it reiterating the great truth that outside things are but the expression, expressed or pressed out, or outpicturing of our inner thoughts and beliefs. That we have dominion or power over our thoughts to think as we will, and thus indirectly we make or mar our lives by the way in which we do think. What were we talking about early in the video? How we think about ourselves. How about that, huh? I didn't plan for this. I never plan. I never make notes ahead of time. I never do anything. I just bring the stuff in and let it go. How about that? That's something to think about. Okay, so because these outer things are but consequences, or if you'd like, resultant pictures of what goes on in the secret place inside of you. If it were possible for us to affect externals directly without changing our thought, it would mean that we could think one thing and produce another. And this would be contrary to the law of the universe. Yes, there are laws out there. There truly are. There are cosmic laws. Indeed, it is just this very notion which is the basic fallacy that lies at the root of all human trouble. All sickness and sin, all strife and poverty, and even death itself. And that is the great law of the universe. However, what you think in your mind, you will produce in your experience. What did I just read? That what we think is what we will become. That's what this just said. Okay, I got to stop there. I had to hurry because we're running out of time here. Okay, so I'm going to stop here. I love you guys, okay? Love and light to all of you. I love you, I love you, I love you.